what I hate the most right now is like comparing last rebuild to this rebuild. Let's face it, when Theo came, there was nothing here. The first step of everything was to break it all down and first start with the front office. And it was, let's get my guys in the place that I need here for the next, 10, 12 years, whatever Theo's initial plan was to be here.
Yep.
It was that. It was to upgrade scouting. It was a lot of computer upgrading from what I've read. But when you looked at that ball club when he came in opposed to what Theo left Jed, it's night and day because the Cubs actually had pieces for Jed to trade for guys like PCA, Owen Casey. Yeah. There was a return on a prospect that wasn't nearly the amount that Theo had to trade, in 2012 when he came.
Right.
So I think the hardest part is to sit and even think that they're even close to similar. They are. It's a rebuild. So a lot of the things are going to go close to the same. But there's also more on this roster that was there prior that is going to speed this along. I think that this rebuild is closer to the White Sox rebuild than it is to the Cubs full breakdown. That when you looked at the White Sox had guys like Chris Sale, like Jose Quintana to trade, to go out there and get premium guys like Yohan Moncada, like Eloy Jimenez, Dylan Cease. Those are the returns that move things faster, that make you a playoff team quicker than you think. So the Cubs realistically made that trade in 2017 for Jose Quintana that brought back Cease and Eloy Jimenez for the White Sox. The White Sox were in the playoffs in 2020. So realistically, we can look at this as maybe a 2 to 3 year rebuild opposed to, I don't think this is near 5 or 6 because a lot of the guys that were brought back in the trade are already progressing through the system. And with a good season next year, you're looking at this as maybe this is 2.5 years if they're able to, turn the page on it. I don't know. I don't want to sit and project what next year is going to be because the Cubs are going to have money to spend and they're going to have positions of need that they're going to have. And who knows what, guys like Steele and Keegan do in the offseason to maybe even get better. Mm-hmm. But I agree with you. I think that the embarrassment of riches was shown a lot today in terms of Nico Horner is a pillar. He's a guy you can build. He's a guy that I've said on the show you can play, you want to play with. He's that fun Marcus Stroman on the other side of it. That is a type of guy that you want to see, you want to be around. Same with Christopher Morel in a lot of ways. He hasn't proved it as much, but Christopher Morel has that fun, kind of get out there, play together type thing. And Wilson Contreras and Ian Happ are still here. Those are guys that around the league are farly respected. Who's to say that, the report that says they're going to get one of these top name shortstops. Who's to say that, their players that are in the rotation don't take a step next year and are able to hover around 500? And maybe you're talking about buying a small piece at the trade deadline next year. A lot of this is definitely going to be, a process of what happens in the offseason. And I'm not going to sit and speculate yet until we have full reports. But it's days like today where you take a deep breath and you go, things aren't as bad as what everybody's screaming at the mountain for. It's just fine. Like there are guys in the system like PCA who are raking. There are guys at the major league level like Nico Horner and Christopher Morel and Justin Steele and Keegan Thompson who are showing you they belong there. And the rest of it can be filled in with dollars and prospects. And baseball is an odd game, right? The teams that you think are the best in 1 year can be very average the year after. Very much so. And the Washington Nationals just won the World Series a few years ago, and look at them now. They're god-awful. So
quite the fall from grace.
Yeah, so things can change in a heartbeat. And I think that if you're a Cub fan, you should be very optimistic about the future because today it showed that there are players on this roster who are able to be built around and belong and are pillars of maybe the next great Cub team. And there's going to be guys who come up who are 10 times better than these guys too. And it's only going to make the guys who are in this right now, like Justin Steele and Keegan Thompson, that much hungrier for time.
Yep.
The best part in the most successful strategy to building any team around sports is to surround your franchise with tons of talent that pushes other talent, because iron sharpens iron. And at the end of the day, the Cubs are doing that right now.